welcome to another episode of Ask Britt Shit. I haven't been able to do one of these in a while, but I found myself with about 37 seconds of free time, so I figured let's do this, let's pinch one off, and let's get her done, or something. And I have my whiskey in my Zelda mug, of course. I am drinking tin cup whiskey lately. I'm not over Gentleman Jack or Jack Daniels in general, just lately I'm doing some tin cup action. Don't know why, just feel like spicing up my life a little bit, as if moving and unpacking isn't enough. This cup smells weird. Oh well, it's whiskey. It sterilizes everything, right? Just as a reminder, I'm going through all of the questions, so some of these may be duplicates, and I may contradict myself, but it happens. First question comes from Jason Morgan. Jason asks, if you drink, what beer / hard alcohol do you prefer to drink, and what are your favorites? When it comes to beer, I don't mind the occasional beer from time to time. Typically, I'm a little poon. I usually like light beer, but lately as of age, I've found that I don't really mind like non-light beer, whatever you want to call that. I don't really like dark beer though. That's kind of gross. But as far as hard alcohol goes, obviously whiskey is like my go-to. I don't know why. I never really liked the taste of alcohol growing up, and it's just kind of funny and ironic to think that now my drink of choice is whiskey. Yeah. I never saw that coming. It used to be rum, specifically rum and cokes was my drink. Those were my drinks for a really long time, but I kind of outgrew those, and now I just like to sip on straight old whiskey. He also asks, have you seen Brave Little Toaster, and what are your thoughts? Oh God, if I've seen that, it's been 20 plus years. I remember it faintly, but I don't remember a lot about it. So my thoughts are that I'm sure it's a fantastic movie. That said, I can't remember shit about it, so it definitely ain't no Lion King, I can tell you that right now. Next question comes from CJ Escalera. CJ's question is, hello, I was just curious as to how it is that you came to do whatever it is you do, because it looks like tons of fun. Okay, so I know I've answered this multiple times. Quick nutshell version of my answer, because I think I made like a 15-minute video about this once. I used to work for the state doing pencil pushing jobs, and I hated it. I was so uncomfortable there. I was so unhappy. The people there were very Debbie Downery, and so that lit a fire under my ass to do something that made me happy, to do something that made me feel like I was doing something with my life. I was going somewhere with my life, because I was super duper unhappy with my daytime job. I felt like it was going nowhere. Pencil pushing never really got anyone anywhere to an extent. Well, the job I was doing, I wasn't going anywhere. So I became, I don't want to say depressed, but I became just kind of like, oh, I need to do something with my life. So I started blogging, and that kind of just led to all of this, I guess is what I would say. So basically what led me to do what I do now is, and that was your original question, right? Yeah, just a really boring dead-end job, and it inspired. And what's that one quote? Something change. Hold on. This is not the quote that I was going for, but I feel like it kind of conveys what I was trying to say. In a time of crisis, we all have the potential to morph up to a new level and do things we never thought possible. And that's kind of my situation in a nutshell. My crisis was a very boring dead-end job where I was very unhappy and I needed something to do with my life. So yeah, I started blogging on the side, and ta-da! He also asks, what is your favorite Pokemon? Well, I can answer this in a certain way. I've been playing a lot of Pokemon Go, and the Pokemon I just said Pokemon. The Pokemon I've been most excited about catching have been Coughing, Execute, Doduo. Basically anything really derpy looking, I'm kind of obsessed with. I've never been one who fights in battles with their Pokemon. I just more like collecting them and oohing and awing over them. A great level and power is always appreciated, icing on the cake, but it's not something I like actively seek after. So anything derpy, kind of weird looking. What's that one? It's a newer gen Pokemon. I think it's called like a Sunfish or Stunfish. Hold on. Stunfisk is what it's called. Stunfisk. Can you see that? That is my jam, ladies and gentlemen. That is what I love. Derpy ass Pokemon. Could watch them all day. So anything derpy, I would say, is my favorite. Classic Game Freak with a P asks, what are the top 3 fury-inducing, controller-throwingly difficult games you've ever played or owned? Let's see. the top 3 that are coming to my head, and these probably aren't, like, if I were to sit down and think about this for like 10 or 15 minutes, I'd probably come up with different answers. But for now, what I will say is Illusion of Gaia. There is a, I've talked about this before, a boss battle with vampires. It was very difficult for me for whatever reasons. I don't know what variables were in place, but it was very frustrating, and I tried for, I think, half an hour to an hour to more to defeat these guys, and I legit finally defeated them, and then my power was cut off. Like probably like not even 5 minutes, like maybe like 30 seconds after I defeated these guys. Before I could save the game, my electricity to my apartment at the time was cut off for like someone ran into a power pole or some shit. So it was like terrible. That was a very frustrating moment. I even have a video somewhere of me like raging over that. The next game would probably be Lost Planet, and I only say that because I remember playing Lost Planet years and years and years ago, probably like what, 5 years ago, for it had been out for a bit, I think, and then I picked it up and tried it out. But I played it for maybe 15-20 minutes-ish. I don't even know. It wasn't that long. And then I discovered very quickly it was a difficult game, and ain't nobody got time for that. I don't like difficult games. They're just not, they don't do it for me. It's part of the reason why I've been scared to touch Dark Souls and Demon Souls, because I don't want to get frustrated when I play games. I like to relax when I play games. The third game, more recently, I would say it'd be 7th Dragon the Third Code BFD. 3DS game, very, very good Japanese RPG. But let's see. There were a couple of boss fights in that game that were just ridiculously hard, and they were based more off of luck than skill. Some of them were in certain occasions. Like there were bosses that would insta-kill your party, and the only thing you could do to prevent that would be equip like an amulet or something that gave you a 50% chance of blocking the attack. But that still leaves 50% for the boss to kill you instantly within like the second round of the fight. So there were many occasions where that boss would kill my entire team within like 2 turns, and there's nothing I could do about it. That was frustrating. Great game though, but that was frustrating. Last but certainly not least is my boy King Possum. It says, the more I watch your videos, the more of a fan I become. Well, thank you. So Britt, do you watch pro wrestling? What books do you like to read? And what are your thoughts on Buffy the Vampire Slayer? And do you play games on PC or just consoles? We'll start with, do I watch pro wrestling? Not anymore. I used to watch it back in the day pretty religiously when you had like Bret the Hitman Hart, Owen Hart, Stone Cold Steve Austin, Undertaker, The Rock, Shawn Michaels, Macho Man, Randy Savage, like that whole crew. I feel like there were others that were really like prominent in that time, but that was when I watched wrestling. I loved playing with the action figures, and so although I don't watch it anymore, I still get a little kick out of it whenever like my Twitter timeline or Facebook or whatever, there's a big like event going on and everyone's like losing their shit. So it's really cool to see that, because like, oh, I get it, I've been there, I can appreciate it. I would like to get back into it though, I really would. Next question, what books do you like to read? I love reading. I love reading like old books where you actually have to flip pages. Like to me, there's just something really comforting and like cathartic about that. I don't know. One of the rooms in the house I want to convert into like a reading den where it's just like a fireplace and a little couch and a cozy carpet and an end table and a little light, and I can just go in there and read. As for what I like to read, zombie books. Like I love zombie, I almost said zombie fiction, but I feel like that's kind of an unnecessary thing, zombie fiction. I like zombie nonfiction. Anyway, yeah, so zombie fiction. I'm currently rereading a series by J.L. Bourne called Day by Day Armageddon. There's 4 books in the series, and the 4th one just came out. So before I read the 4th one, I'm rereading the trilogy, and then I'll get to the 4th one. But basically anything with zombies, I love zombies, and I love zombie survival. I love reading to see how characters survive in a zombie apocalypse. Just all that kind of shit. I love it, I love it, I love it. So anything with zombies, I love to read. I also really like the Resident Evil books. I don't know if you guys have read those. If you haven't, if you haven't, you should really read those. They're a little older. They do follow the games loosely, but they're just amazing. They're really good. And what's another really good zombie series? Oh, the Morningstar Saga by Z.A. Recht, who has unfortunately since passed, but I believe he had a ghostwriter finish his last book. So those are just some zombie book recommendations. Buffy the Vampire Slayer. I've never seen an episode of Buffy the Vampire Slayer, I'm sorry, so I have no thoughts. But I know a lot of people lose their shit over Buffy, and good for them. As far as gaming on PC or console, truth be told, I love gaming on PC. I just love the feeling of having like a battle station and so much control over like what I do, especially in RPGs like Witcher, Dragon Age, anything where you have like multiple commands. you know, like an MMO, well duh, but you know. But like I've said, you know, I'm on a computer all day, so there's something really relaxing about sitting on a couch with a controller, spread eagle, and just playing a game on a big screen. Something I'm trying to fix kind of regarding this situation is I have another bedroom downstairs with more of like an open den, and I'm putting a dedicated gaming laptop down there. So if I want to game on a laptop, I can just go downstairs and play on that, and that laptop will be different from the computer that I work on all day. So I'm hoping that might like add some space in between the two so I can once again enjoy PC gaming. Well guys, that'll do it for this video. I hope you enjoyed it. Thank you so much for watching, and I hope you have a fantastical weekend. Oh, I'm supposed to ask you to subscribe to my channel. That is a thing that I am supposed to start doing. I've been lectured by many of my friends in the community because I do not have a call to action. I do not really ask people to subscribe. So if you would please subscribe to my channel, I would greatly appreciate it, and I feel really awkward doing this, but it's probably a good idea for me to do it. Thanks guys. Okay, bye.